Hello and welcome to episode 7 of the Let's Play world. Today I want to aim high. I want to get a pick with Fortune 3 on it so we can mine those diamonds. Also have a bunch of other things I want to get done today, so let's get right to it. First thing I want to do right out of the gate is I want to gather up some of these animals that are wandering around here. I'm realizing as we start to build, we are displacing a lot of space where they would normally roam, and they're just going to get further and further spread out and all that, so let's set up some fences and gather up a few of these guys just so that we have them to work with in the future. Come along, sheep. Everybody, come along, come along. Oh, hello, pig. Come along. Perfect. Pig number 2. And the cows. All right, super great. So we got our pigs, we got some sheep, we got some cows, and this should be plenty to get a farm or do some breeding and all that. Nearly forgot. Want to get some bees. Over by our mine, we have a beehive, but there's just a singular lonely bee over there, and I want to get a couple more so that we can start creating more bees, and then perhaps we'll end up with like a honey farm or something. I'm not so worried about chickens because there's a lot of them, and then also I have a bunch of eggs and we can create chickens with those, so I'm not going to bother to round a bunch of them up. Fantastic, we got a baby bee. So I'm walking around looking for cows. I need to make more bookshelves, and I'm finding very many cows. I did find this weird shipwreck. Sand is just kind of floating there waiting to smother you. Probably explore this a little bit. All right. Well, that's not very exciting, is it? Pretty crazy. The whole boat seems to be just buried under there. See it poking up a little bit here. Very interesting. Well, this is fortuitous. I want one of those. Hard to find. Yeah, these nautilus shells are tough to find. That's a lucky break. Well, I broke my sword. That's not great. Just gonna sit here and just punch zombies all night, I guess. Oh boy, this is not great.
A few moments later.
I guess I could have used my axe. That would have been a better idea. Hello, cows. Haven't killed an Enderman yet. Let's see if this is a terrible idea. There we go. Cool. All right, that was medium fruitful. We got a few leather, got some paper. We can make a couple more bookcases. All right, I'm going to grab the 2 diamonds. I'm going to make a sword. Awesome. And then let me show you what the room looks like that we were building in our base. All right, so this is what I've got so far. As you can see, the structure part is pretty well done. I've started doing a little decorating inside. I added a little fireplace over here, and we've got some bookshelves around our enchanting table, a barrel, and a grindstone. The walls are still pretty plain and need a little bit of detail. I'm not sure exactly what the doorway is going to look like. On the outside, run around here and I'll show you what's going on. I decided to let the birch kind of bleed through. I think that looks kind of cool. And then just did some more detail around here. Haven't gone all the way around yet, but you can see still some work to do. But I think it's pretty cool looking. And if we run way over here, give it a look from a distance, I think it looks pretty sharp. And imagine this part of the base being, you know, much, much taller. These little rooms on either side. I think it's going to look really good. So now that we have an enchanting table and I have enough bookshelves to get up to 30 levels, we should probably see what we get here. So I've got a diamond sword and I've got the diamond pickaxe. Let's see what happens here. Let me grab a little bit of lapis. Throw that in there. Okay, so we put this in there. Efficiency 4. That's not great. Here. Looting, that's not bad. Looting 2, and we can always get up to looting 3. Let's go ahead and do that. We ended up with sharpness, unbreaking, looting, and fire aspect. That's a pretty good dice roll there. We ended up with a nice little sword. Now what do I get if I put my pick in here? Efficiency 4 again. Boy, do I take a chance and hope that we end up with fortune on there? Probably should, shouldn't I? Let's do it. Nope, just efficiency 4. Well, at least we can mine a little faster, but we need fortune before we start mining all of our diamonds. So, I think that's as much as we're going to do with this table right now. Let's put this stuff away. So what I'm going to do is run across the field and do a little work on the villager trader hall so that we can start getting enchantments from those guys. And speaking of enchantments, before you leave something in the comments, I would notice that, like, oh, hello, my enchanted sword is not looking very enchanted. And I looked it up, and the texture pack, the mod that I have for the light, enchantments are broken in it right now, so they don't show the glint, the shininess. So yeah, hopefully they fix that, because I miss my shiny enchanted items. All right, this is going to be the front door. This is where the trading hall will be, and we'll kind of start piecing that together. You might notice this tree all of a sudden over here. I grabbed one from over there and cut it down and replanted the saplings because we are going to use some dark oak in this build. And this, I think, is going to be our palette. So we've got some dark oak, we've got some andesite and some stone, what do you call it, basalt and polished basalt, and then some light blue terracotta. You look real close, you can kind of see some of those same tones in here, and it's just sort of a real kind of cool feeling color palette, and the dark oak, I think, sits against that nicely. We'll try it out, see what we think. So yeah, let me do a little bit of work here and see what we come up with. Well, I almost had enough dark oak to finish the floor here, so we'll cut down another tree and finish this out. But basically, you can see I've got a big room here with 3 long hallways coming off of it. And this is going to be the footprint of the trading hall. So this will be the front door. We'll walk into this nice foyer, and then we'll have 3 different wings. And each of the wings will have different types of villagers. So I think back here will probably be our farmers. And then over here, maybe we'll have our librarians and, you know, some of the other masons and things like that over here. That's our collection area there. And right now I'm going off to the side. I might reorient that so that it is lined up this way instead. I'm not sure what the rest of the building is going to look like yet, but right now it's poking out here. And I mean, we could certainly box it in, but I just don't know if it makes sense with the build. So I might turn this 90 degrees and try to get it to fit within the footprint that we've created here. Yeah, that's all I can really say about this so far. So I think I'm just going to chop down this tree, finish up this little hallway over here, and then reevaluate and see what's next. So I'm not sure what I want the exterior of this building to look like. I'm going to go ahead and just build the interior first, and then we can figure out what we want it to look like on the outside. A lot of times I will reflect, what the inside and the outside look like, so they kind of look the same, but we don't necessarily have to do that. We could do something a little different. Just had a thought. So I popped into a testing world here. This is our color palette, and we'll obviously have some lights. And I was thinking about the glazed terracotta blocks, and I looked at a couple of different ones, and these guys really kind of jumped out at me. This one, you'll notice, it's a lot lighter than the other blocks, but it takes a lot of hues from some of these blocks here, and then this blue here really complements the soul lanterns really nicely. This middle one, the gray, same deal. Some of those colors really match nice with the basalt, and it has a little bit more character than some of the stone blocks do. And then the brown one, obviously we've got some matching with the wood here, and then again that hint of blue, which I think is really cool. So maybe we can work in some glazed terracotta in a decorative way. And perhaps, like if we used this block, then maybe the outside of our building could be white or, something much brighter. Just something to think about. This whole design here, for me, it starts out as a sketch. I sit there and I draw, and then I count blocks and I figure out, okay, so I can get this many villagers in this many blocks. And then how do I want to lay it out? Why not just make a single room, 3 things coming off of it? And if we want to expand, we certainly could. We could knock out this wall and send another hallway down here. This is a pretty flexible design, I think. And so that was the idea there. I had laid out, some markers for how big I thought this thing would be. And as you can see, we're close. But I did rethink the design, and that's okay. You start with a plan, and then you take that plan and change it. And that's how things end up great. We'll keep working on this. We'll get some of the villagers in here and see if we can get some enchantments out of them. And then I'll end up moving this a little later. All right, there it is. That is the footprint done and finished. Base looks really good from over here. I'm pretty happy with how that's turning out. I think this is going to be great. What I suspect we'll end up doing is just building one wing and just sealing these off for now, and then expanding as we get more materials. I think we're going to go with something like this, and then this will repeat down another station here. That, yeah, I think that'll work great. So I'm definitely going to need more materials. I don't have a lot of basalt yet. I'm good on andesite, I think. And I'm good on terracotta. Yeah, we just need to eventually get more basalt. But we've got a couple of spots here, and so what we could probably do is get the villagers we have down here, see if we can make them useful. I made a small adjustment here. I used to have cobblestone around these guys, and I went up top to trade with the farmer to get a few extra emeralds, and there was a whole bunch of villagers just standing up there, and I think the cobble was preventing them from finding their way off of here. So once I did that, they all wandered over here, and so we have a bunch of villagers waiting to be moved into our trading hall. All right, that, and let's see what happens here. Awesome. See if we can get him out of there. Oh, and of course he jumped right over. guys are just the worst. I swear. Get into that face, please. There. Goodness gracious. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a lectern down in front of this guy, and then I'm going to put a block above him so that he doesn't jump over the lectern. And then we can get this out of the way. You can see he turned into a librarian because this is his workstation. I am going to let's block back for a moment. There we go. So if I check this guy, he will give me knockback for 5 emeralds. That is not a great trade in my opinion. So if I pick this up, he'll turn back into a normal villager. If I put this back down again, he decides to take the job. And now he's giving me fortune for 10 emeralds. So you can do this over and over. Basically, pick up their workstation, put it back down, and you know that you can change their jobs, things like that. Once you find one you like, you want to trade with them immediately, and that will lock in that trade. So, you know, like right now it's saying that he'll give me fortune for 10 emeralds. If I was to go for a walk and then come back, he'll still be a librarian, but he might change his mind as far as what he's going to offer. And so if you see something you like, have some emeralds on you ready to go, because that can all change very, very quickly. Sweeping Edge for 44 emeralds. That's a lot of emeralds. You know, some people, they like to do the zombie... I can't quite reach, sir. There we go. The zombie infection trick where you can... no book. That's not great. What you do is you get a zombie to attack your villagers, and it turns them into a zombie villager. And then what you can do is you can heal them, and they'll give you a really great trade. It's a cool mechanic, and you know, it works really well. Silk Touch for 12. That's not a bad trade right there. Now, 12 emeralds, if we were to do the zombie trick, it would probably be 1 or 2 emeralds. But the thing is, eventually we're going to have farms where we can get pumpkins and then we can trade pumpkins. And so it's like, you know, who cares really how many emeralds as long as we can get the emeralds? Yeah, we're going to take this. All right, 12 emeralds and a book, and we get Silk Touch. And that is an enchanted book, but like I said, the glint isn't showing up with my light mod. Oh well. Okay, so this guy is now our Silk Touch trader. So anytime we need a Silk Touch book, we can go to this guy and he will trade with us. And then you guys probably know this already, but the more you trade, the more this fills up. And as it gets to the top, it goes from novice, you know, to expert to master, etc. And you get more trades. Sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're not very good. But for example, like with a librarian, once you get up to a master, you can get name tags and things like that, which are really, really useful. Now that we have a block above this guy and we have this in front of him, we should be able to remove these without any incident, and he will just hang out there. The next thing I need to do is make sure zombies can't get to this guy. So, yeah, we might just put a door here or something temporarily to keep them from just walking up here and killing this guy. But that's one. Now we just need a whole bunch more. All right, that looks terrible, but at least it will keep them safe for now. A little thing I learned here, I usually like to use slabs here so that I can still see the villager while keeping them contained. But I've brought a couple of villagers down, and every time I break the minecart, they hop up onto the top of this slab. So I've been having to use full blocks to keep them contained and then switch to slabs once they're in here. A little bit of a pain, and I don't know if that's a change in how high they jump or what, but yeah, just so you know what's up here. Let's see what we got from this guy. Riptide. No, thank you. Nothing. Curse of Vanishing for 36 emeralds. Garbage. Mending for 24. A little expensive. Nothing. Nothing. Flame. Not interested. Nothing. 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 Punch 2. Fortune 3. Boy, that is expensive, but that is exactly what we want right now. Of course, I don't have that many emeralds, so I can't lock it in. Oh boy. That's a bummer. Power. Nothing. Feather falling. That's useful, but not what I need right now. Nothing. Aqua affinity for 11. That's okay, but not what I need right now. Nothing. Luck of the sea. Pass. Unbreaking. Sharpness 5 on an awesome enchantment. 62 emeralds is a little steep. Nothing. Knockback 2. Nothing. Feather falling 3. Curse of binding.
A few moments later.
Oh yes, this is it right here. 19 emeralds for Fortune 3. That is exactly what we're looking for. Let me get that on our pick, and then I'm going to run down and get some diamonds. Alright guys, you know I've been waiting for this moment for a while. Haven't really mined almost any diamonds, and I've been waiting until we could get a Fortune 3 pick. So I went down in the mine, round them all up, and boom. Almost 2 stacks. That is pretty awesome. That's enough for full diamond gear, full diamond armor. I'm really, really happy about this. Well, I think that's going to do it for today. We got quite a lot done. We've got enchantments, we've made some progress on the base and on the villager breeder, we got diamonds, so we are in really, really great shape. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you had fun. Please like and subscribe if you want to follow along on the adventure, and I hope to see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.